What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our match reaction after Everton have ended our title challenge for another season, beating us comfortably by 2-0. A result that is one of the most embarrassing displays I've seen in my 34 years watching this Liverpool team. It is quite frankly unacceptable that that performance was put in a derby where you're fighting for a league title. The players accepted their fate like the cowards that they were out there today. Our manager should hang his head in shame for not making changes at half time, for not looking like he gave a damn on the sideline, and for allowing that dross to continue. What do some of these players have to do to get in over Klopp's favourite boys? Salah was a disgrace. Darwin was a disgrace. Van Dijk is the worst captain I've seen in my time supporting this football club. And it is absolutely unacceptable that you capitulate in a title race to a relegation fodder rival. It's pathetic. They've gone to Manchester United and been beaten and capitulated. Let the season get away from them. A quadruple chase has become a tin pot trophy parade to say goodbye to Jurgen for what? Another capitulation. Disgraceful. Those players should be ashamed. I am absolutely fuming with that. Not one of them played with any heart, passion or effort. Absolute cowardly performance. Everton didn't even have to work hard to beat us. Again, aerial prowess, my backside. They were doing what they wanted in our penalty area. Where was Van Dijk or Canade when we had an uncontested header from Calvert-Lewin? Or for the first goal when we had 3 chances to clear it? Too busy giving away cheap free kicks on the edge of our penalty area. And the manager stood there with a stupid looking smirk on his face while Rome was burning down around him. Unacceptable. I hope they're ashamed of themselves. Nothing can forgive this, and it's the players' level without Klopp, no magic, it's fatigue, and what the hell has Gravenberch got to do to play? Love to Cody, said Harry Klein. So Klopp couldn't beat United and win this final Merseyside derby. League bottled easily. Sir Alex Ferguson and Wenger's boys would have killed for their boss to win, said Sachin Sharma. It's absolutely pathetic, mate, that these boys have done this. This was supposed to be the last dance. The big goodbye. The everything left out there. Every ounce of sweat, passion, energy. And they didn't. They talked a big game, but they haven't got the balls to back it up. And speaking of balls, we're brought to you today with thanks to our friends at Manscaped, our amazing sponsors. And if, unlike those players, you have a pair, then you could do a lot worse than using Manscaped's all-new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. You can get 20% off and free shipping from our discount code on the screen, Anfield20. Scan the QR code or use the link in the description. Again, whether it's the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, or the Lawnmower 5.0, thank you to Manscaped for the support. I'm heartbroken at what I've just witnessed. Questions need to be asked about Darwin's future, said Friendly Squid. Pathetic is the right word. The under-21s would have done better, said Waterdrull. What I don't understand is why, again, he let them away with it at half-time. This is honestly what I don't understand. Nobody knows how a game's going to start. You put a team out and you don't know. But you've seen the first half. You've seen the same mistakes. You've seen the same lackadaisical attitude. The same lack of aggression and effort. And what does he do? He sends the same bunch of muppets back out for the second half. What lesson is that telling and teaching anyone? You can play as crap as you want and it doesn't matter. Because I like it. So I'm going to keep playing you. Jayden Danns didn't get a sniff. The future of Liverpool. Bobby Clark, not a sniff. We're chasing the game 2-0 down, and what does he do? He takes off 2 fullbacks and brings on 2 more fullbacks. What on earth? If you had have tried to put in a worse tactical performance, you would have struggled. Tim Hayward, thank you for your super sticker, mate. Nunes has got to go, said Chris Child. Nunes out, said Daniel. Look, you can look at Nunes and make that argument. You can look at Salah and make that argument. Van Dijk, he is not a leader. I say it over and over again. I'm going to say it again. What does he lead? He has allowed this capitulation to happen. We had the chance to have a reset. We lost to Manchester United in the FA Cup in a bit of a crazy game, but we lost from a winning position. We had a chance to reset. We go into the international break. We come back out of it on the other side. We get 2 wins and then we go to Old Trafford and fall apart again and draw. And from that point on, they've given up. Klopp will come out with some absolute garbage, I'm sure, that will try to justify the absolute pony that we've just witnessed in front of us. But again, don't tell us we don't know what we're seeing. We know a lack of stomach and a lack of fight and a lack of effort when we see it. We know a lack of courage when we see it. Mark Royal, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, mate. Imagine playing like that against Real Madrid in the Champions League, said Ashley Dooley. Adam said, as painful as this was, please God, at least don't let City win the league. I hope Arsenal can do a miracle. I hope they can capitalise if City drop points. It would be terrible to lose a league title to anybody, but at least I could look at Arsenal with respect and congratulate them. Craig, there's another super chat I've got to get back to. Craig, where's the Darwin from Benfica? I'm not even angry because we've seen the same player for ages. Where was Salah as well? It's not good enough. The excuse making from our fans for some people needs to stop as well. Like, let's call it, let's be frank about this. Salah, done. Nobody's denying what he's done before, but he's done. Darwin, how many more chances? How long do you have to go? Will a new manager get it out of him? I don't know. Van Dijk, not a leader. Canade, shocking. Doesn't learn his lesson. Same stupid niggly fouls. Curtis Jones is back to being the Curtis Jones who wouldn't get into Marine. Wouldn't get into his Sunday League team. It's just unacceptable. To even start the game and have McAllister back in the 6. Why? To reward Jones and Szoboszlai? For what? They've been gash. Imagine dropping Ryan Gravenberch and Endo to put in Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, who've stunk the gaff up for weeks, and expecting something different to happen. There's a few more chats I have to get through. Leah said, Klopp checked out at the beginning of March and the players followed. Devastating. Gokul said, Klopp checked out and so have a few players. FSG can't even buy out Amarim. There's more embarrassment coming. Can't wait for FSG to sell us. Will it happen? So on the manager front, I don't think it's a case of money for Amarim. I genuinely think Edwards will get his first choice. Whether his first choice is Amarim or Slot, we'll figure out. But I don't think it's going to be a problem in that regard. There's a lot that I want to get angry about, but you know, this is on the player and the managers right here. We'll talk about the owners over the summer and we'll have plenty of time to pick the bones out of what they've done right or wrong. But right now, that's down to the manager and the players. Now I know why Klopp's leaving. He's done. Bye, said Nasser Khan. Why was Gravenberch back on the bench? I've no idea, Paul. I've no idea. But I keep saying, mate, and I know I keep repeating myself, but what message does that send? What message does it send to other players? You work your ass off in training. For what? To have a chance, but you don't get that chance. Gravenberch comes in, puts in a good performance. Okay, Cody couldn't be there tonight for family reasons. That's completely understandable. But this is pathetic. And what was the most galling part of it all is you never once felt like we were turning that round. You never once felt like they had it in them to change their destiny there. Salah does far too much talking in the press. He came out and said they need a second league title to cement their legacy a few weeks back. Didn't he learn from the revenge against Madrid? Other players have done the same, said the detective. Oscar said 4 defenders subbed on is criminal, tactically shit. Thank you for your super chat, Oscar, as well. Appreciate your input, sir. Star Girl said we have to go play West Ham, Spurs and Villa. If we lose all three, Villa will be in front of us. Should they win their next games, that's worrying. He needs to make wholesale changes for whatever the remainder of these games are. He cannot keep rewarding dross. He can't. For his own sanity. Out of respect for those fans paying their money to watch it. He cannot keep putting these same clowns out there that are just rolling over and giving up. Lack of quality, simple as that, said Ian Hart. Klopp has lost his passion, said Jay. Nicholas Young, welcome to Anfield Agenda Ultras, my friend. Kai said, honestly, I'm not watching any more of our games. They don't deserve for us to watch anymore. We lost the league title now. Let me ask you guys this question. Whether you're a Liverpool fan or not, it doesn't really matter at this point. Do you think we should have a parade? Do you think an open top bus through Liverpool after this is a great way to send Klopp off? Because look, I love Klopp and I've had great times watching him, but nobody deserves a bus top parade for that. Unless it's a parade of shame. Because there's nothing to celebrate here. Where was the passion? Where was the fight from Klopp? Where was the anger? All of them. They just accepted it. They just took the beating like cowards. Klopp is hurting his legacy with each passing game. His words don't affect the players. Gives deflated interviews. Can't wait for Arne next season, said Rohan. Thank you, Rowan, for your super chat, my friend. Darryl said, still think Klopp should have announced he was leaving when he did, with so much to play for. So, on that debate, I don't know what the correct answer is, Darryl, because to some extent, no, I don't think he should have said it. But from the club side, I do understand and appreciate that it's a lot easier for them to go about the recruitment of the next manager if it's open that Klopp's leaving. So I don't know what's the correct answer and what isn't. And there's YouTube doing the same to me again. 4 times today, YouTube has booted me off my own stream. Sorry, I'm getting the chat back open so I can catch up with the super chats I've missed. If I've missed some super chats here, I'm playing catch up. Rowan's I've done. I've done that one. I think I've done that one. Sorry. If I've missed the super chat, somebody alert me or Connor post it to me in the chat because YouTube booted me out again. A parade to celebrate our failure. Like, I get it. Klopp's time at the club should be marked, of course. They should, of course. But it doesn't feel fitting to have a parade. Have a goodbye inside Anfield or something, like going through the city parade in a Tin Pot League Cup when we had the chance for a real send-off. Klopp will be remembered for coming second to City of Madrid. 115 FC is an embarrassment to international football, and I, as a Manchester City fan, fully accept all of these charges, and Manchester is red. That's what I read there, Tinsay. So thank you for your super chat. Not a Liverpool fan, but I dash into a bad thing to have a parade. Maybe change the time and maybe a couple of weeks before next season. I don't know. The whole word parade just feels weird. I'm a United fan, mate. Still mad respect for Klopp. Wants him to win more in his final season. Just sad to see this. Hope he can go out on a high. He can't. There's no going out on a high session, unfortunately, now, mate. What is there? Best we can do now is third. Let's be realistic. It feels like this last month has been a microcosm of the entire time. Bit of success and a lot of heartache. A lot of so nearly. A lot of close. I don't know. Spurs have 2 games in hand and only 6 points behind Villa. We have to win all our games just to stay in the top 4. I don't think we necessarily do, but either way, it's... To even have that conversation, Stargirl, is ludicrous, isn't it, mate? You know, that we're talking about maybe fighting to stay in the top 4. Oh my God, how do we get here? I missed Everton matches with red cards, said Illusory. Ash said, I've booked to go to Liverpool for the last game parade and my stag combined. Should have gone to Benidorm. What a shocking performance. I said to you guys a couple of weeks ago that we were being quoted $5,000 for the Wolves game for the last match. I mean, you'd have to pay me at this point. Any chance of redemption for Salah and Nunez? I don't know. The answer I want to give you is no. Especially not for Salah because of his age. He's done. Don't care anymore. Don't want to hear it. Sick of the apologists. Done. Darwin, I don't know. Maybe the new manager thinks they can get a tune out of him. I don't have much optimism that he'll turn it round, but he's still got youth on his side. Lads. There was another couple of super chats. Thanks for being here, mate. I've no words for what's become of us lately. This is going to taint Klopp's legacy and it's on him and the players. And that's why it hurts Box Will so much. Is exactly what you've said. It's going to destroy a legacy. It's going to leave a sour taste at the end of what should be a celebration. Midfield looks so clueless. Trying to attack, said Owen Dunn. Oh, when we were in possession, mate, we all said it in the chat so many times. There was nobody making movement ahead of them. There was no runs. There was nobody dropping between the lines to give the centre-backs or the midfield an option. There was nothing. They were just standing on the shoulders of the defenders and we were playing long balls in or getting it into the area and playing blind crosses. Just no guile or creativity. It was just hoping for the best. I don't know what the tactics were. Klopp should be respected because he's achieved a lot with us with much less money than City and Madrid. He showed that money can be defeated. Nobody's denying what he's achieved at the club, mate. Nobody. But whatever way we look at it, there's been success and it's been beautiful and he's definitely put us in the right direction and overall his legacy is far more good than bad. But I think the frustration that a lot of us feel right now is because we don't want him to be remembered in this way. We don't want him to be remembered for his last year for falling over Europa League with a 3-0 home loss to Atalanta, to capitulating at Old Trafford in a 4-3 FA Cup defeat, to have the final nail rammed in your league title coffin by a relegation threatened Everton at Goodison. This is what hurts us though, mate. You know, we don't want that to be what Klopp's going to be remembered for here. But this season has ended up being an absolute shambles. From, you can say yes, you'd have taken it at the start of the season and I get that, but you also need context. The season unfolded as it did and we had another chance. We lost to Palace, we lost to Everton, we've been dropping stupid points and Klopp has allowed the same players to keep underperforming and it's infuriating. I'm a United fan, but I'm embarrassed losing the title against your rivals like this. United, no matter how bad they were, always turned up against Liverpool this season. You did. And that's what makes it so sad for us. United and Everton have been the two clubs now that have put the final nails in the coffin. And whatever you say about the manager here, the players let it happen. They allowed this capitulation. And our captain looked on. It's unfathomable. The two United games broke us mentally. Love you, Craig. Thank you, Gregory. They've definitely seemed to have had an impact on them. They definitely do. 5 more points to secure top 4, said the detective. Your humour is what kept me from losing it today. Thank you, Connor. Sometimes, mate, I have to do it for my own sanity. Because if I don't make a stupid joke or say something, I'll end up saying something that'll get me or the channel in trouble. And I don't want to do that. But man, it's hard. It's hard to look on at this. Gary Neal said, Klopp has one way to play. If it doesn't work, he seems devoid of ideas tactically. Makes subs, but plays exactly the same way. Another season of could have, would have, should have. Yeah, I think what summarised it all to me, Gary, was the second leg in Atalanta. We're 1-0 up at half time. Could have gone 2-0 up. We missed a good chance. Gasperini gets his team in at half time. Make some very simple changes, go man to man and give us no space. And we look like we were devoid of ideas then. They did to us what they did in the first leg, and even though they did it to us in the first leg, we still had no solution when they brought it out in the second half of the away leg. To concede the first goal in 23 games in a season, it's unacceptable. For the gaffer, what a joke, said Gabriel. I know. And they'll come out with some absolute pony now in the media. They'll all be crying their crocodile tears about Jurgen and what the gaffer means to them and all this other crap. Everybody can talk. I can talk myself into a size 32 waist, but it isn't going to happen unless I get off me fat arse and do something. Talk is cheap. I think this shows why we don't deserve the title. Arsenal can go out and batter Chelsea and we struggle against teams fighting for relegation. I can't disagree with that, mate. Arsenal went out last night and took care of business. Wiped the floor with Chelsea. And we go out against a poor Everton team and can't even match them for effort. Wyatt Wilson, thank you for the super chat, mate. You didn't put a comment in, but thank you. Don't know why Elliott wasn't starting and Salah and Darwin should never play again. I see a lot of the chat and there's a lot of hurt and a lot of anger and a lot of frustration and a lot of things being said. And then I see some other people in the chat saying about what Klopp gave us over the years, and there's merit in all of it. There's merit in the people who were talking about what Klopp gave us, and he did. But I would just say that I think that's what adds to the hurt, is that we all wanted it for Jurgen. We all wanted the fairy tale send-off. I wanted them to lift the Europa League in Dublin, my home city. I wanted them to go out with a league title. And that's why the hurt is there for a lot of people. Is it just feels like his legacy has been destroyed by cowardly performances from players on the pitch. It's like you have a nightmare that you can't wake up from, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again. You can't do it, and you just watch on as it all crumbles. It's hard. Barry, hi Craig, we're all frustrated the way we've lost, but title winners just don't defend so poorly at one end and miss so many sitters at the other. I thought we would have a miracle, but still it's sad. Yep, it is. Arsenal went out and spent 100 million, brought in Declan Rice to shore up their midfield. We tried to bring in Caicedo, it didn't work. We ended up with Endo. Endo's been up and down, but ultimately we end up, like we always seem to do, going the cheap route. So this is where we maybe have a little conversation about the owners, because we are going to have a new manager, and that new manager had best be given the tools to compete. And I know that it's a bit frustrating and worrying that a lot of the talk is about managers coming in who've overachieved elsewhere, and I get that, because maybe to some extent we don't have bottomless pits of money, but my God, John W. Henry better find his wallet, and he better back this new manager, and he better give him 2 or 3 top-notch players to come in, because so many of these people are past it. The race has been ran. They've given us great years, but Father Time doesn't wait for anybody. And there's nothing more destroying than looking at players who used to be able to do it just getting ran past or outfought by players who aren't fit to lace their boots. It's embarrassing. I think the ownership is to blame too. We play really intense football, and this kind of football requires much more squad depth than we have. Said Ice Cream Truck. Sorry, I'm going through some more comments here. Adam Williams said, pushing our wing backs up nullifies our wide men. And then we play in half spaces and play stupid pointless crosses at them. So, exactly. This inverted stuff does my head in at times. Nothing wrong with going around the edge of a fullback and getting to the byline and pulling the ball back or putting a cross in. Brendan Martin said, why was Klopp so against letting certain players continue to start after putting up a good game? Gakpo, Gravenberch should have started. To be fair, on the Gakpo front, it was a family situation and, just bad timing, but it happens. The Gravenberch one I can't explain, mate. I can't explain for the life of me how Ryan Gravenberch didn't get a run out there today, or Jayden Dans, or Clark. I can't explain that. I can't. The worst derby I've watched. Klopp's very good, but his time is up. I was to go to the parade, but I won't now. It's an embarrassment, said Max Komisky. Arsenal will win the league, and it hurts to say that, said Pro. Blame the players. How many chances do they need? They're all to blame though. Players, manager, all of them. They all deserve a collective. Because yes, the players haven't performed, but the manager has continued to back those underperforming players as well. So it's a bit of a vicious circle, unfortunately. The more I hear of the similarities between Slot and Klopp, the more I'm confused. Slot's style will manage better than Klopp. FSG pay for a major revamp. I don't know what to expect in the summer, Danielson, mate. I think with regards to Slot, I'm not saying he's a carbon copy of Klopp, but stylistically, his style would at least be one that the players are somewhat familiar with. Now, hopefully with a 4-2-3-1, we'll get that little bit of extra protection in front of the back four, having a double pivot there. But look, it's the end of the road for some players, I think, in a Liverpool shirt. And you can decide yourselves who you think those players are. You'll all have your own choices. But for me, this just hurts. 23 shots and we can't score one. Embarrassing, said Krish. Oh, Barry. Sorry, did I miss Barry? Barry gifted 50 memberships. Barry, you're incredibly kind, mate. Thank you. Incredibly kind, Barry. That's amazing. One of the few positives today, dude. Thank you so much for that. Highlight of the season will be your live shows, my friend. Thank you, Jason. I can't wait. Belfast, May 31st. Dublin, June 2nd. Please do come along if you're in that neck of the woods. You'd like to come and see us. You can get tickets on Ticketmaster. The link is in the description. Just search Anfield Agenda. But a parade would be beyond embarrassment, said Kelvin Pell. Jacob said he didn't even play after a stellar Fulham performance. Crazy night, said EW80. Don't know what Dan's needs to do, even for the under-21s. He looks good on the ball, good movement, a better finishing than Darwin, said Joshua. Mate, I don't know how he didn't get a run out there today. I really, what has he got to lose? When it was clear we were 2-0 down, it was clear we weren't doing that. And why not give the kid 25 minutes? Give him a taste of a derby now. Why does Dan's never play and he scored twice? Gabriel, my friend, I do not know the answer to that. I don't know. Nothing annoys me more than seeing the same thing over and over again and no change. It's rewarding failure. I'm the goat, said Craig, I respect you so much. You're very honest, mate. Slam my hand in the door. So angry they let us down. My question, Craig, why now? Why the F now? What happened? In my opinion, United game has to be it, but wow. Mate, I can't argue about most of what you've said. The United game certainly feels like a turning point, but we had the international break to reset, and then we come back again, win 2 games, then go to Old Trafford and again don't bury a poor United team. And after that, you're losing a home to Palace, away to relegation fodder, in a derby. And now you get to have all those Everton fans, correctly by the way, talking about how they ended Liverpool's title race. That's their job. They've every right to say that. I'd do the same in their position. And that's what makes us so angry. If you can't get up for a Merseyside derby, what hope have we got? We need a new manager that holds a higher standard for our front three. But can a new manager change this lack of clinical finishing, or are we talking about a front three rebuild, said Soren. Thank you, Soren. I think you're talking about a rebuild, mate. To some extent, I do. Look, there's positive stuff coming down the line with Jayden Danns. He looks really good. Kumas looks promising as well. Clark looks like a legit decent midfielder. Obviously, Connor Bradley coming back in will make a difference as well. So there is some positive stuff coming down the line. But you are right. It's time now to look and think. The Salah situation's almost self-explanatory. 1 year to go, time to sell. The Darwin one, that's the one I truly don't have the answers to. Because I can understand any side of the debate. I can understand anybody that thinks he's been given more than enough chances. And I can understand people who think maybe, just maybe. Gakpo, I'm willing to stick with Cody Gakpo. I think, play him on the left. Diaz. Look, I'm going to say something now. If I had the chance to swap Diaz for Frenkie de Jong, I'd do it tomorrow. Bring Frankie de Jong in to help that midfield out. Yes, he may have some injury concerns, but that's why you've got Bajcetic, that's why you've got Endo, that's why you've got McAllister. So we do that if possible. And, I mean, it looks like we do have to change the front three because they're just not prolific. They're not doing it. And it isn't just on the front three, by the way. Defensively, Canade's been in shambles recently. I don't know what's going on with him. But he's went from looking a confident Rolls Royce of a centre-back and a future leader to being bullied and giving away stupid free kicks and not being able to head a ball. And as for our captain, I've said it for a while now. Don't know why he's the captain. It'll come out that FSG have worn Klopp into the ground. There's a reason why we can't attract a new manager. Nobody wants to work with him. So, again, I feel like I'm defending FSG here, and I certainly don't want to. But there's no problem attracting a manager. You know, I don't understand the mindset that somehow we've been... The only person who has ruled himself out was Alonso. The rest, it looked like, according to reports, that Ruben Amorim and his agent tried to do that whole stunt with West Ham to jolt Liverpool into action, and Liverpool's response was to release the next day that Arne Slot's the preferred candidate. So I do think we'll get the manager they wanted to get. I don't know if that's going to be a manager that will work in the long term. I don't mind the idea of Arne Slot, but I'm just done with reputations at this point. You know, I'm done with players living off reputations. There's a couple more super chats I just want to read out before I finish up. Sid Collins said, has anyone else noticed Pep does not sit next to Klopp since we changed the way we play from the back three? I thought he was sitting beside him today when Klopp was sitting on one of the drinks things or something, but I could be wrong. Dan's would have been far better than Nunes, said Dev. I agree, Dev. Marty Dahl said, definitely not going to work tomorrow. Mate, yeah. Ian Taylor, that message was retracted, but thank you for your super chat, Ian. Gyökeres for Darwin, Johan Bakayoko for Salah, Chiesa for Diaz or Gakpo, said Moar. You're an act, mate. Again, Tom, I love when you dumb little clowns come in to try and troll me, but the fact of the matter is, one, you don't know how to spell. Firstly, I've been to Anfield about 3 times. Do you understand how YouTube works, bro? You understand that this is a business, right? And in order to the business to make money, you stream and talk about the game. If you want to give me a season ticket, Tom, I'll go to every home game at Anfield. But we both know that's not possible. So stop trying to have me as a scapegoat. And stop trying to think you're a super better fan than other people. It's hard to get to Anfield, you dumb little fuck. And it's even harder putting up with stupid people like you who aren't fit to lace my boots. So shut your mouth and learn to spell. And then come back to me and we'll have a battle of wits. When you've actually got something to battle with. Heartbroken, but I know what it's about to BS. And anyone that thinks this is an act, I fucking wish it was. I wish I could turn this camera off now and go about my day going la la la. But I promise you, I'll be as angry afterwards as I am right now. Rival fans will feast on that documentary, said Rohan. These super elitist, I'm better than you fans, they need to just do one. Honestly, because they're either thick or they're embarrassing. Imagine trying to mock people. Do you know how hard it is to get a ticket to Anfield? You give me tickets, you dumb little clown, and I will show up every week. But it's impossible. You're not a better fan than other people. You're not smarter than other people. Everybody's the same. You've no right to go to games. You've no right to look down your nose at me or anybody else. You know nothing. Now sit there, be quiet like a good little boy while I talk to the rest of the adults. Higher XG again in a loss. We need a new striker, said Cody Gaming. DJ Brain said, this squad is punching above our weight class. The rebuild process is incomplete. We still need a DM. As much as Nunes being wasteful, his numbers are better than Diaz. Trent to midfield and Robbo is done. I agree on the punching above our weight. I agree on that. We've overperformed this season. I don't feel that at this point that makes that any less painful, but I think there's some fair comments in what you've said. Sad thing is, we most probably won't be in a title race for at least 2 or 3 seasons, as we're now going to be in transition period with a new manager, said Rick Maddock, 1985. Nearly every game this season was stressful. Even the games against Sheffield United were close until the final minute, said Sol D. Yep, all these comments are very valid and fair. Grant said, being a Liverpool fan for 20 years and I've never been more disgusted with this team than I am right now. We don't deserve anything out of this performance. The season is cooked and I feel gutted. Sent Klopp out with failure. Yeah. Grant, I think you've summed it all up there, mate. You know, I've been a fan of Liverpool since, 34 years now? Since I was 8. And whilst there have been some very, very dismal, dark times, this season has hurt because we've gotten from potential immortality to absolute frustration. Ibu reminds me of Sacco with his diving in, said David Leslie. What a last dance, said Arturo. Right, my friends, I'm going to go record the player ratings video. It's going to be out soon. Keep an eye out for it. Do please hit the subscribe button before you head off. I'm really sorry that the season's petering out this way. And what's most hurtful about it is there's nothing we can do about it other than watch on as the car crash unfolds. And there's no more chances now. That's it. We are just playing for 3rd place, consolidating our position in the Champions League next year, and I hope we at least see some changes for these remaining games and kids given a chance. Chelsea fan here. We have our own problems and I'm not here to take pressure on Liverpool. Just want to say I love your channel. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much, the anonymous one. And yeah, it's not great for you guys at the minute either. I get that. But I appreciate you dropping in with a bit of kindness, mate. Thank you. We should get Federico Chiesa to replace Salah if we sell him, said Ian Cahill. Last season every team was beating us and this season we're challenging for a title. Fergie left Man United over 10 years ago and they still can't rebuild. Right, but we still failed though in the end, DJ Brains. Like, it's great we're in the Champions League next year. Don't get me wrong. I'm eternally grateful for that. You know, if we weren't in the first version of the new Champions League, it would suck. But it still doesn't stop it stinging, bro. You know, that we're, again, just fading away at the end. Look, thank you all so much. Daryl, Ralph, thank you for the super sticker. Keep an eye out for the player ratings video. Please do hit that subscribe button before you head off. And love you guys to bits. Thank you for your support and what's been a difficult night again. 4 more games to go. And let's see what happens. Talk to you soon.